Good evening, everybody. Big Mongo D sitting behind the mic again. With today's topic is third-degree murder charge a fair charge for Derek Chauvin? I say hell no, it's not. What he did, it showed intent. And he should be charged with second-degree murder, along with the other 3 officers that were involved. Ron?
Yeah. Okay. In my opinion, it's possible that the other 3 officers involved should at least be charged with third-degree murder, and I believe Derek Chauvin should probably be charged with second-degree murder, but I think they chose third-degree murder it would be easier for it to...
I agree with you, Ron. The other 3 officers should be charged with a lesser charge, being that they didn't have their knee in Mr. Floyd's neck. All right? Well, with this being said and everything, think of the bigger picture. They all should be charged with the same charge. That's how the proper charge should be filed. They were an accessory to it. They're no better than he was. Ron?
Well, especially the one holding off the crowd, threatening anybody in the crowd that would try to interfere with the officer's knee being in George's neck. Trying to think of George's last name right now.
Floyd.
I don't know.
George Floyd.
Anyway. Yeah, George Floyd. Sorry.
It's all right.
I don't know, Mike. It's a real tragedy, but
it is.
Someone should have stepped in and said, that's enough, let's get him in the car.
It is.
I believe second.
Unfortunately, it is a tragedy. You're correct about that. I agree with you 1,000%. I'm sure a lot of listeners agree with you that way too. It's just a shame that you have a few rotten apples in the barrel that makes all the cops look bad. Nowhere in any law enforcement handbook is it ever written to put your foot in an individual's neck. It's just not written for anybody to put their knee or hand or any bodily part in the back of their neck.
Yeah, choke the person, right. I agree. And that's almost the uniform law for all the officers, too. There's a lot more violence going on, too, with places being reported, too.
There has to be some type of law passed, though. There really does, with all 50 states, that if they're caught doing that they lose their job immediately. Not saying they have to kill somebody. Saying if they attempt to put their knee in someone's neck or whatever it is,
okay,
they should lose their job.
Yeah.
No questions asked about it.
Well, maybe there will be uniform law soon there with that kind of thing. Right now, the riots are going on. And boy, I tell you, some guy, I saw him on, somebody sent me an attachment to my phone, and it showed some guy that's a professional. He goes around stirring people up for riots and things like that, and for looting. And they say he's paid by one of those billionaires, multi-billionaires, and he just goes to a website, signs up, and he says anybody can go to the website and sign up to be an instigator for these riots, and they get paid by these multi-billionaires that want to mess with this country. Now, this particular one had the multi-billionaire's name.com, and I won't say the name, but there's a lot of this stuff going on now, where this stuff just causes, well, it doesn't cause riots, but it causes riots. I believe that people can remain calm and wait for the due process of law. But when these instigators, they're very professional at what they do. They just go around stirring up trouble, and they get people riled up. You've got these protests, and then all of a sudden the looting, burning, looting, whatever. What's your opinion on that, Mike?
Well, my opinion about it is all the rioting that's being done isn't going to do any good. It's not going to bring Mr. Floyd back. It has to be done in the right manner. If you're going to do it right, so you protest. That's what a peaceful protest, you can do it all day, all night, whatever it takes, and they can't do nothing to you. Well, once it turns into rioting, God only knows how it turns out. So the rioters need to go home. Come back out with a peaceful protest. Let the legal system handle George Floyd's situation. I'm sure somewhere along the line that the due process of everything will work out into George's favor. God rest his soul. Ron?
There's so many spill-offs to this thing, too, because there was this fellow, Afro-American fellow with his girlfriend, and they were on their way home from somewhere, I don't know where, but they were held in traffic because of all the riots and everything. And they were, their car was approached by the police, and they singled them out just because of, their color. And the police did this, yes, and they ordered them out of the car. The girl was so afraid and everything like that. And I don't think the young man was any less afraid either. But they were scared to get out of the car. And one of the policemen just took his club and just smashed out the windows of the car. Just smashed them right out. Now, I heard he got fired for doing that, for vandalizing the car. And what made matters worse is both of them got tased. Those tasers don't feel so good. They thought they were going to die. They were just frightened. And now, and that was a result of the protests and the riots that are going on, that they were slowed up in traffic and couldn't make it home. Out of the police view. Maybe they thought they were coming from the looting and the riot, things like that, the police, but they have no right to make that judgment.
No, they don't.
Not catching scene, but go ahead with that. What you take off on that one? They're suing, by the way, but go ahead.
I'm glad they are. They just don't have any right to touch an individual if they're inside the car and they're not committing no crimes. Yeah, if you ever notice when you say, what did I do wrong? Okay. Well, they never answer the question.
It makes you wonder, didn't we have enough going on with the pandemic and everything like that? Now we have to have all of this? I mean, now we're very near some kind of a civil war going on. Another kind of like, it's just crazy. I don't know what's becoming of this world. It's not a great place to live anymore.
No, I'd say you're right about that part. Before all this crap started, everybody got along. You know? Now this stuff starts.
Well, not always. It's coming in spurts and everything like that, but everybody's certainly not getting along right now, I'll tell you.
No, that's a fact. They're not getting along right now. That's a fact. I would hate to see the outcome of this and for how long it goes on. You know, if they do it peacefully, they're looking good. But if they keep up the riots, I truly feel sorry for all the business owners, you know, and stuff like that. They're taking a major hit on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw on television one of the business owners right there in Minneapolis. He's an Afro-American fellow that saved and finally opened his own business. I can't remember what kind of business it was, but I don't think it was too far from that police precinct that got burned down. But his business wasn't far from that. But I'll tell you, the protesters hurt one of their own. The guy's business was just burned down and well looted too. And he's just out of business, and he was in tears. And I saw that interview on TV, you know that. And it's very sad what's happening to this country and to this world for that matter. But especially this country right now.
Oh yeah,
America's not this.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
First the pandemic, now somebody starts like this. Not cool. Not cool in the least. Ron, just a quick question for you. What's the underline in this whole thing that's going on now?
You mean the underlying cause or something? I believe it's misuse of authority. Really, that's with everything. I mean, from our politicians right on down to the police force and just everything. I mean, people in authority think they can just do anything they want anymore. And police have a certain amount of authority, and a lot of them are abusing that authority. And it's just not right. Everything's got to be hauled in, Mike.
You're right.
What do you think there?
No, you're totally right about that, Ron. Everything's got to be in sync. No one can say, because I have a shield, I have the power. I can do what I want. It don't fly like that. You know?
I agree. Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know, Ron, it's time that we say goodbye for tonight. But I would like to say this. If you liked what you heard, give us a thumbs up. If you want to hear a different topic, please tell us also in Twitter. All right? We'd like to hear your comments, how you liked it, or even if you didn't like it. With that being said, until next time, take care of yourself. Eat the proper food. Stay safe. And may God bless each and every one of you. Good night, everybody. And don't forget, I'm Michael D.
And I'm Ron.
Good night.